Hey guys, Star Wars Uncovered, and today I got a special video talking about the original trilogy, and the prequel trilogy, and how it was a story about Anakin, but in the end, Disney morphed it into something that was much more not like Anakin, and it was a story of Rey, and it kind of undid what the original trilogy and prequel trilogy did. So in the original trilogy, we get introduced to Darth Vader. There's a fight against the Empire. Luke is the chosen one of the original trilogy, we believe. And he saves his father, turns him to the light side, and evil is vanquished. The Emperor Palpatine is killed. And it's like basically a hero arc for Luke. He saves his sister, he saves his dad, turns him to the light, and he saves the galaxy. It's basically this one big adventure, and it's a big a growth arc for Luke. In A New Hope, he's very um immature, reckless, and really looks inwards a lot. He doesn't um he cares for his friends, but he doesn't really truly understand the world around him. In The Empire Strikes Back, we see that he's now like more confident. He's growing in his force abilities. He has a good relationship with Leia, but he's still figuring out what the force is, and he needs a teacher. That teacher is Yoda. He's still struggling with learning how to use the force and to resist the temptation to turn to the dark side and use his aggression. In Return of the Jedi, he's just become like this amazing Jedi, honed in on his skills. You can really see him. He's super powerful, far beyond what he was in Empire Strikes Back and A New Hope, and he's become patient, wise, like Yoda, and he's learned from his training and experiences. And then in the prequel trilogy, we learn how his father came to be Darth Vader, that person in the dark clad armor. And I think the original trilogy and prequel trilogy just go hand in hand with each other. You can't have one without the other. They're interlinked, and you can't separate them because they're always going to be linked together. And without one, you can't have the full story. It shows you the rise and fall of the chosen one, Anakin Skywalker. This, in a nutshell, the 6 Star Wars movies made by George Lucas are all about one person, Anakin Skywalker, his rise, fall, and redemption. And that's what we see throughout the 6 movies made by George Lucas. So what confuses me is why Disney would make another 3 that don't really have any correlation to the past 6. They say they correlate and they're similar and they're interlinked, but doesn't make much sense to me. I see it as like a standalone trilogy, in my opinion. The sequel trilogy didn't make much sense to me. I did enjoy aspects of it, like I enjoyed The Force Awakens. I thought it was a good movie, but it just got goofy in The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. They bring back Palpatine, which is kind of lame because that undoes Vader's sacrifice to save his son. But yeah, this is one of the major problems I have with the sequel trilogy because it doesn't fit in. If the George Lucas had a written treatment for the sequel trilogy, and he gave it to Disney when he sold Star Wars, and he said, "This is my treatment for the sequel trilogy," but they didn't use it. They used their own, and we got the Disney sequel trilogy. And there's a whole. I could go and make another video about George's treatment of the sequel trilogy, but right now I want to tell you guys something. When I watch a sequel trilogy, it doesn't really feel like I'm watching the Skywalker saga. It's some like distant reality trilogy that is standalone. And that's how I feel when watching the sequel trilogy. It doesn't mean I dislike it. I really liked The Force Awakens. I thought it was a good movie. Maybe even a really good movie. I enjoyed it the whole time I watched it. but it didn't feel interlinked. It's not. It's no longer about Anakin and his rise and fall, which is what George Lucas based the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy about. What are you going to focus on now? Because Anakin's out of the picture. Who are you going to focus on? And then they chose to focus on Rey, who was a descendant of Palpatine biologically, but she wants to call herself a Skywalker. And that's really, in my mind, that's really messed up, because how can she call herself a Skywalker when she's actually technically a Palpatine? It's just like bending the rules, and I don't really care for it. But hey, we got the 3 original movies and 3 prequel movies, and those are great films. I just don't really care for the sequels, but hey, I want to know what you guys think. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me, and why? Let me know in the comments down below. Please like and subscribe, and may the Force be with you.